Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhete grim, yatkripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam, sthapakaya cha dharmasya, sarva dharma swarupine, avatara varisthaya, ramakrishnaya te namaha, ratnakara dhautapadam, himalaya kiritinim, brahmarajarshi ratnadhyam, vande bharatamatam. Sadashiva samarambham, Shankaracharya madhyamam, Asmadacharya paryantam, vande guru paramparam. Namaste and welcome everyone to the last day of the 15-day course on the stories from the Upanishads, Lessons for a Meaningful Life. Though it's the last day, it's going to be a new beginning for our lives because we have seen so many stories, giving so many messages, pointing to the one reality, that is Brahman and that you are. We have already given the teaching. But what is today? Many seekers asked, okay, knowing the truth, no, I know the Upanishad says that you are, but what should I do? How should I start? From where should I start? So, for all these things, icing on the cake is done from the last story. It's a very popular story, very famous story, and very much known to many people. But the importance is not just the story, it is the learnings. Today, we are going to discuss about that story. A Vedic society where all families are doing the Vedic rituals, sacrificing one thing or the other. And there is one person called, a saintly person called Vajashravas. He is renownedly called as Vajashravas because Vaja means Annadanam, who is renowned for his charity in donating food for others. That's why he is called as Vajashravas. And he had only one son, and his name is Nachiketa. Nachiketas. And this Nachiketas is the hero of this story. And he was a very obedient son, loving son, affectionate son. He grew up very well, good at relationships, good at values, good at learning, good at playing, everything. At the proper age, he was initiated into the Upanayana Samskara and Brahmopadesha was done. Then he was sent to a Gurukula for higher studies. So, he, being an obedient student, coming from a Vedic society, coming from a Vedic family, he understood his responsibility and goes to the Gurukula. And when he goes to the Gurukula, the father, Vajashravas, felt, okay, my responsibility towards my son is as of now done. Now, I should do something for myself. Myself, not just for this life, but hereafter. What will happen to me after this life? So, I should think about that. Being a Vedic scholar, he knew many things which would take him to heaven. But he wanted to know the sure shot technique which leads him to heaven. So he inquired many priests around him and he came to know about one ritual, one Mahayaga called Vishwajit Mahayaga. If you want to win over the next world, you have to Vishwajit, winning over the world, you have to do this sacrifice. Yajna means sacrifice. Then he asked, what is the procedure? He was told all the procedures of how many people have to be called, how much they have to do, what are the chantings, all rituals were told. But at the end, there is one important thing that was told was, to win over the world, it is not through the sword, it is through sacrifice. And the priest told, if you want to do this Vishwajit Yaga, there is one clause. And that clause is the most important clause. And what is that? At the end of this yaga, you have to donate whatever you possess. You have to donate everything that you possess. Find a satpatra, the right person to take it, and you have to donate everything that you have. Are you ready for it? And Vajashravas was very much having faith in the scriptures. So he told, yes, I will do it. Because life is not just the end of the DOB to DOD, date of birth to date of death. There is something beyond. So for that, I am ready to sacrifice this life. So I am ready to give whatever I have through charity. So it was decided to do the Vishwajit Yaga, the Sarva Vedasa Yaga. And he called all the people he knew. He called all the people who didn't know. And he called even the Gurukula, where his son was studying. He went and approached the Guru there, the Kulapati there, and he was also invited. Son also came. And it was a huge ceremony. thousands of people have come, hundreds of priests are there, and everyone are doing their duties. And it is not 1 day or 2 days, it goes for days together and even maybe months together. The whole ritual is over, the religious karma is over, the dakshina has also been given to the priests. Now comes the last portion, that is the Daanam. Daanam means donating whatever he possessed. And what is the condition? It is Sarva Vedhasa Yajna, means whatever he possesses, he has to give it. And son doing his small duties in the Yajna, he comes and he sits in a place, then many people are waiting to receive the gifts, Daanam. And they are very much in need. He can see from the looks itself. And here father sitting there, and many people are taking the cattles to give as Daanam, the gift. He sees the gifts, he sees the cattles, and he was shocked. He was shocked. He was in rock bottom. Why? A gift should be given which is in the right way and which is usable by the person who takes it. But he sees the cattles, and however the cattles, the Upanishad gives 4 adjectives for these cattles. The first one is Pito Dakaha, means the cattles have drunk enough water. It cannot drink, we do not even know whether they can drink the next sip of water. Jagdha Trinaha, it has eaten all the grasses it can eat in its lifetime. Don't know whether it can eat much more grass. Don't even know whether the teeth is there or not. Dugdha Dohaha, it has given enough milk. How much ever it can give, it has already given. Last is Nirindriyaha, weak, lean, and don't know when it is going to die. And father is donating these things to the people who are waiting there. And the boy feels the people who takes the Daanam should be able to use it, but it would become a burden or responsibility on them, because before even they take those cattle home, they may even die. Even to do the funeral rites, because go is go mata for us. Even to do the final rites, they have to spend. Instead of taking it as Daanam, it becomes a burden. And if my father is donating all these things with an objective of going to heaven and enjoying this pleasure, but by doing these things, he would acquire papam, not punya. Papam. And he would go to a loka called Ananda. There is no Nanda, there is no Sukha. Where there is no Sukha, he will go to such a loka, and the whole objective of this Yajna will be negated. It would not be fructified. So he feels, what's happening? What's happening? Many a times when our parents also do something wrong, we also feel that. But do we tell it? Do we bring it into action? Nachiketa brings it into action. What he feels, the Upanishad says, Shraddha Avivesha, meaning the faith in him got aroused. The faith in him got aroused because he, being a student of Vedic literature, Vedic rituals, being in a Gurukula for almost 2-3 years, he knows what to give, how to give, whom to give, everything. And by doing this, the wrong thing can happen. Shraddha Avivesha. What happened after he got Shraddha? He directly approaches the father. He's doing some work. He directly approaches the father and says, Father, this is Vishwajit Yajna, where you have to donate everything that you possess, right? Father says, yes, I know that. Go that side. I'm doing some work. Father, that means you have to donate everything that you possess, right? Yes, I'm telling you, go that side. Okay, Father. Now, me, being your son, is also your possession. Whom are you donating it to me? Whom are you donating me for? The son feels he cannot stop donating the cattle because that is also his wealth. That is also that he possesses. But can he at least compensate some of the papa by donating himself, by sacrificing himself? That was the thought. So he goes and asks, whom are you donating me to? And the father says, why? Are you mad? Go that side. The son comes, Nachiketa comes and again asks, Father, whom do you donate me for? Father says, Vajishravas, don't irritate me, don't make me angry, go that side. And the third time, son comes, Father, tell me, whom are you donating me for? The father became very angry, just like the present day parents. Go to hell. That was the statement he told. Mrutyu Dadami. I'm giving you to Mrutyu Devata, the Yama. Go! And the boy went. Suddenly, in a spur of moment, he understood what he did. Vajishtavas understood. In that impulsive moment, he was carried away by emotions and he uttered those words. But he went to a corner and kept his hand on his head and he was worrying what I did, what I spoke. To such a small boy, I am telling you are being donated to Yamadevata, meaning Mrutyu Devata, meaning he has to die. What did I do? He was feeling so sad about him. He was feeling so guilty about himself, sitting in the corner. The other side, this boy, Nachiketa, went to one more corner and sat. Sat not with a sad face, but sat in a contemplative mood. And what he contemplated upon? He thought, whoever is given as a gift to whoever, that person or that thing should be usable. That's what the concept or rationale. Now I am being given to Yamadevata. Yama has so many kinkaras, the servants for him. What can I do to him? The Yamadevata, what service I can offer to Yamadevata? And if I am being given as just like the cattle which is of no use, am I so useless? No, he contemplates. He says in many situations, I am the Prathama or Uttama. Because I have heard whatever my father has told, whatever my teacher has told, I have done exactly the same and beyond that, extra things that I have done. In many situations, I am Madhyama, meaning I am a mediocre student where I have followed exactly whatever words my father has told. I am never a Adhama student, meaning I am never an inferior student where even after telling I have not followed. But why my father is gifting me to a Devata who doesn't require me, who cannot use me as a resource, whom I cannot serve in any way, but still I should go. Then he sees the father. He was feeling very bad. Directly, actually what should happen? The father should come and console the son, but the reverse thing happens. Son comes to his father, starts consoling him. Father, why are you worrying? Why are you feeling so sad? Why are you feeling so guilty? Don't worry. All these things happen. That's okay. Then father says, that's what I'm telling. That's okay. I told it impulsively. Don't take it seriously. I told in anger. That you will be given to death. Don't take it seriously. Then the son says, Father, just you have told me the stories about our own ancestors. Remember the ancestors that you have spoken about. Have they ever told an untruth? Have they ever lied? The father says, no. Just see the great honored people in this society, present generation. Whomever you honor, have they ever uttered a lie? No. Then how come you, as a dignified person, honorable person, can go towards lying? We have to be Satyameva Jayate. It should not just be the motto of our country, it should be motto of our own hearts. It should be motto of our own lives. So Satyameva Jayate. Let us follow the truth. That alone is important. And father says, yeah, I understand. I know the value of truth. But here, following truth means you have to die, son. You have to die. Is it okay? Then Nachiketa says, what's there? What's the problem there? Every person born, he lives, dies, and again reborn. It is something like a cycle. Just like a plant which grows, which sprouts, which grows and dies, again sprouts and grows and dies. It is something like a cycle. Why should we worry? Life is short. Let's make it sweet by following values, by following the dharma. So please accept whatever you have told. And Vajishtavas, being a Vedic follower, he understood the value of truth, value of dharma, and he said, yes, we need to follow. And he accepted son Nachiketas to go to Mrutyu Loka. Upanishad doesn't say how he went to the Mrutyu Loka. Did he leave his body, or because of the powers that Vajishtavas had, did he go like that, or because of the Satya Shraddha that he had, he went? We do not know all those things, and that is all not required also. He reached the Yamaloka, and he reached the Yama's palace, and the security guards asked, who are you? Because generally what happens is the Yama Kinkaras go and pick the people. Even if they don't accept, they drag him to the Yamaloka and bring them. But here, the first time, the rare occasion, a person is coming out of his own choice to Yamaloka. Who are you and why have you come? And Nachiketa tells all the story, and he says, I want to meet Yama. The security guard told, Yama is not available now, but still, because of some preoccupied meetings, he has gone to some other loka. But please come, do stay in our palace, take the hospitality, accept the hospitality, stay here. Once Yama comes, you can talk to him. Nachiketa says, no, I can't accept it. Why? He says, I am a servant of Yama, and if I have to eat in Yama's palace, it should be out of the orders that Yama gives. Otherwise, I can't have it. That is against dharma. So, I will wait here till Yama comes. Yama's wife comes and tries to console him and convince him. No. Yama's minister tries to come and convince him. He didn't accept. He says, this is what is dharma. When I have been given as a gift to a person, the person should accept me as a gift and he should tell me what I should do. Otherwise, I don't have the right to eat or drink anything here. I will not come. The boy, Nachiketas, stayed there, waiting for Yama to come, not for a minute or a 2 or 3. He stayed there for 3 days, 3 nights, without food, without water, without rest. Yama, who had gone out, comes back after 3 days, and once he reaches the Yama's palace, suddenly the wife of Yama, the children of Yama, the ministers of Yama approached him anxiously. Looking at the anxiety, Yama asked, why are you so anxious? What happened? Is there any problem? Then these people told, yes, there is a big problem. And what is that? There is a brahmachari who has come. A brahmana brahmachari who has the Vedic fire within him. And fire, if it is used properly, it is kindling. Otherwise, it becomes a forest fire which can destroy everything. So, here there is an Atithi, the guest to our Loka, who has not been treated properly. But he is not coming inside our palace because you are not there. Go approach him and treat him with proper respect. Otherwise, all your fame, all your name, all your achievements will be doomed just because of one person's penance. Go and serve him with complete humility. Yama, being the Adhikarika Purusha, Yama, we always consider a cruel person. No, he is a very dharmic person, doing his role properly and appropriately. So he reaches Nachiketa and offers him the water and says, please accept my hospitality. And why are you here? What's the purpose of your coming here? And he says the whole story. And Yama says, that's all okay. I accept all those things. But before that, I want to get rid of my papam. And what is my papam? I'm not served you properly. For the last 3 days, you being in my home, not being treated properly, you have been starving, you have been not taken even water, you have not rested. So for the 3 days, I want to give you 3 boons as a compensation. And after taking the 3 boons, one thing that I would request you is, you should accept all these things and you should forgive me for whatever mistake me or my family has done. Can you accept this? Just imagine the plight of Yama. Even after becoming such a great Devata, who is not affected by Punya or Papa, still following it because Yadyat Acharati Shreshtaha. He's been looked as role model. Nachiketas, understanding it, he need not forgive. He says, who am I to forgive? I'm your servant. You tell me what should I do. But he says, no, I'm giving you 3 boons. You ask me any 3 boons. With star, no conditions apply. You can ask anything, I would grant you. But you should forgive. Nachiketas, understanding it, thinks for a while and says, this is the right opportunity which I should capitalize. I should capitalize these 3 boons for the benefit of myself. And he says, yes, I accept. After accepting, Yama also says, Tathastu, ask me anything. Nachiketas asks, what is my first boon? He combines 3 boons in a single boon and finally says, this is my first boon. What are the 3 boons? He says, my father has lot of anger issues, emotional handling issues. So, my father should be calm, patient, peaceful. Second, whatever yajna my father did, it has not got fulfilled. It has to be fructified. And the third, when I go back to my home, he is already clear that he will go back because he is of no use to Yama. When I go back to my home, my father should accept me as his own child, loving child, not as a ghost. These three things put together as my first boon. O Yama, grant me this. Looking at the intelligence of Nachiketas, Yama is very happy. He says, definitely, so it be. When you go back home, your father will accept you with more love, with more affection, and treat you as his own child. And from today night itself, he will sleep peacefully, not thinking, not being anxious. And whatever karma he did, the ritual he did, it will be fructified because of the sacrifice that you have done. Let it be so. All the three things done, first boon over. Ask me second boon. Nachiketas thinks for a while, and he says, now, once my family's purpose or family's help is done, now my concern is towards the whole society, whole humanity. And what is that? Yama, I have heard a lot about many rituals, religious rituals that people in the world, they do for the sake of attaining heaven, to go to Swargaloka. And we have heard a lot about Swargaloka, where there is no thirst, there is no hunger, there is only pleasure, and people strive for it. And they do many good things, many punya karmas, many rituals. Why? To reach that heaven. But even after doing so many things, they are not sure whether they can reach heaven or not. Now, I want you to teach me one vidya, one ritual, where following that, any person can reach that heaven. Teach me that vidya. Yama was very happy looking at the boy's eagerness to learn about the Swarga Vidya. He starts teaching and he feels, 10-year boy, how can he comprehend all those? But still he told, I will give you the boon and I will teach you. But I don't know whether you will be able to comprehend it. I will start teaching, comprehend whatever is possible to you. He starts teaching the Agni Vidya of the deity that should be chosen, the fire ritual that should be done, the meditation how it should be done, the chanting the chanting mantras to be done, how many bricks to be placed, in which shape that should be done. All the details, hours together, he started chanting, he started speaking, and he started teaching. After the whole thing is over, Yama says, did you understand? Nachiketas told, I think I have understood, but I want to clarify myself. I will chant whatever you told. I will explain what you told. I will explain with the meaning what I have understood. Please tell me whether I am right. Yama told, okay, go ahead. Whatever you have understood, tell me. Nachiketa started telling whatever he has understood. The fire ritual, the deity, the upasana, the meditation technique, the kind of bricks to be used, the shape of the bricks should be used, the chanting mantras verbatim, everything to the minutest details with meaning he told. And Yama was shocked, surprised and happy. Why? A boy of 10, 11 years, he has come to Yamaloka, he has asked for a knowledge, and in the first moment itself, his first time itself, he has understood, remembered, recollected and re-rendered. He was very happy, and Yama says, I am very happy with you. Now I am giving you one more vara. The ritual that has been taught to you, the Agni Vidya which has been taught to you, it will be named as Nachiketa Agni Vidya. It will be named by yours. Whoever does in future the ritual, they will remember you because you are such great. This ritual will be called as Nachiketa Agni Vidya. And take this. He gave him a necklace, a great necklace with pearls and diamonds and whatnot. And he says, don't worry, this is not the third boon. This is a fourth boon which I gave it as a complimentary boon looking at your intellectual abilities. Now you ask me third boon. What do you want? Now Nachiketas feels, yes, now I need to ask. What? I have done enough to my family. I have asked something to my humanity, society. Now there is only one opportunity, one question, one boon which I can ask. Now Nachiketa asks, I don't want any boon, but I have a question to ask. Yama asks, Okay, ask me what question you have. Then Nachiketa asks about the Atma Vidya, the self-knowledge. He says, in our country, in our world of Bhuloka, there are many people who say there exists an Atma after death. There are many people who argue there is no Atma after death. I want to know about the true nature of this Atma, which is an existing Atma or a non-existing Atma. If it exists, what is the nature of it? What is the Swarupa of it? Teach me the Atma Jnana. He is not asking whether it exists or not, because he knows by the second boon only, he knows even after death the soul transmigrates to some other loka like Swarga Loka or Naraka Loka, and he enjoys everything he knows. But here he is asking about the true nature of Atman, self. Yamadharmaraja, 1 second he was baffled by the question. What a question by a 10-year or 11-year-old boy! Such a high level question. Should I teach him? I can't teach anyone and everyone who asks for self-knowledge. I need to test him. And if he passes in the test, then definitely I can teach him. So he has a series of tests, 3 levels of tests. The first level is to, the first level of the test is to discourage him. And how he discourages? Yama says, Nachiketa, don't ask this question. Why? Because this is a very subtle knowledge. Even Devatas have doubt about the existence or non-existence, nature of Atman. Even the Devatas have not comprehended. And many have tried to understand, but many have misunderstood. Just like we know the story of the Indra and Virochana. If you have not understood, go to the 12th class which we have done. Indra and Virochana, where Virochana misunderstood the body itself as Atman. So the nature of Atma is rather misunderstood by many people rather than understanding. So it's a very durvijneyam. It is very difficult to comprehend. Why do you ask for such a knowledge which doesn't give you anything? Where Devatas also have doubt. Why do you ask for that? So please ask something else. Then Nachiketa gives the same reasons and says, I want this knowledge. What are the reasons? It is so subtle. I don't get any good guru in Bhuloka. When I am getting a guru like you who knows the reality, whom else should I ask? You are there to teach that Durvijneya Patham, Vidya. I want that. Even when people like Indra and others are struggling to understand this, why should I not get it? It is so great because Devatas are also searching for it. I should know this knowledge. When people can misunderstand, I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want this knowledge to be misunderstood by me by going through any other guru. When I have a great guru like this, I want that knowledge. Teach me that knowledge, and that remains as the third boon. Yama was happy once within in his heart, but he wanted to test again. The discouragement has passed. Now he is coming to distract him, to deviate from his goal. For that, what he does? He starts telling, Nachiketas, don't ask for this knowledge. Don't bind me by asking this question, which is difficult to tell. Ask something else. What do you want? I'll give you a place in the Bhuloka where you can rule over. You will have a position. You will have thousands of years of life. Not like a bed patient. You will be Ashishto, Dridishto, Balishto. You will be healthy. Don't worry about your health. You will be healthy without any disease. Thousands of years you will live. And don't worry. Even you will have good relationships. You will have good obedient son, grandson and many other people to take care of you. And not just that. You will have animals, the cattle, all of the sampattu, meaning the wealth, gold, money, everything will be there for your disposal. Choose a kingdom. You will have power. You will have name. You will have fame. You will have people around you. You will have life. You will have health. What else do you want? I will give you all these things. But don't ask for this one thing, which is the Atma Vidya. He is deviating. He is distracting him with so many attractions. But what Nachiketas replies? Nachiketa says, okay, I will stay there for thousands of years. After thousands of years, will you not come there? Will you not come there means, will death not come to me? Definitely it will come. They'll be my children. Will they not leave me? Either I will leave them or will they not leave me? They will leave. All the money that I have, does it serve the final purpose of life? No, never. Navittena tarpaniyo manusho. Manusha, the people will never be satisfied by wealth. So, what use of all these things? I don't want this. I want the knowledge of Atman. Teach me that. Happy Yama, but still wanted to try something more. What he did? He told, all these are material things that you find in Bhuloka. Now I'm going to do the third one, temptations. What are the temptations? The Yajna that you asked for Swargaloka, that I will give it you in Bhuloka itself. What is that? Whatever you want, you just say it and it will be done to you. And the apsaras that you see in this loka, I will give it to you. The vahanas, the vehicles of gods, I will give it to you. The chariots that you see, I will give it to you. The servants you see who are serving the gods, I will give it to you. You ask me anything and everything in any of the lokas. Even Upanishad goes to an extent, I will give you the highest position in the Brahma loka itself. Take anything. Be that. But don't ask this boon of self-knowledge. But what was the reply from Nachiketa? He said, all these things that you told are not going to please me. It may be pleasures which can give a momentary happiness, but these things will weaken my body, weaken my senses, weaken my mind. I don't want those. Keep all your apsaras, keep all your dancers, keep all your musical instruments, keep all your chariots, keep all your charioteers and servants with yourself. What Nachiketa seeks is only one thing. Don't have any doubt. It is the Atma Vidya, the self-knowledge. When this was told, Yama was so happy, went and hugged Nachiketas and praises Nachiketas to such a great extent. He says, I was also a human when in the previous Janma. I too had an aspiration to get many things, but never approached self-knowledge. I always looked for all these Devata, Loka, being a Devata, but never sought for knowledge. But you have excelled, you have exceeded, you have the Dharma and you have the Viveka, discrimination more than me. Who else can be eligible for self-knowledge? Now, here I am, teaching you Atma Vidya. Come and learn from me. Initially, he starts teaching with the Upasana of Omkara Upasana. Later, he teaches the Atma Vidya, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, meaning the Atma is the subtler than the subtlest, and it is glorious than the glorious, the biggest than the biggest, meaning it is the all-pervading one principle, that is the existence, and you are that. And it becomes a big discourse where Yama teaches different things through different methodologies, taking the example of a chariot, taking the example of two beings on the same tree, lot to teach, and the Atma Vidya has been completed. And Nachiketas, knowing the Atma Jnanam, comes back to Bhuloka and teaches the whole world about this. This is the Kathopanishad story. The first and the second chapter of the Upanishad deals with the story. Later part deals with the Upanishadic teaching. This is about the story. But what can we learn from the story? That is more important. The first and foremost is the importance of Daanam. Whom to donate, what to donate, how to donate. And all yajnas, all yagas, all pujas will be fructified only when you do Daanam. If you are doing every puja without doing Daanam, that is not a fructifying thing. First thing. Second, Shraddha. Shraddha on the Veda, Shraddha on the ritual. Both should be there. Only when we have the Shraddha, then any ritual will be completed, fructified. Third, concern. The son had concern towards father. Son knew the objective of the yajna that he was doing, And for that concern only, he approached the father and he was ready to sacrifice himself. Tyage naike amritatva manashu. Great achievements can be done only through great sacrifices. And this is a greatest sacrifice where he is giving himself. And father, understanding the concern shown by the son, though had the moha towards his son initially, understood the importance of Satya Vachana. During the Diksha, any yajna, he cannot utter a lie. He understood and he accepted son to go to Mrutyu Loka. And role model behavior by Yama. Yama, being a Yama of such high caliber, such high cadre, a Devata, still followed that Atithi Devo Bhava. But what do? A relative comes home, a guest comes home, we go and shut our room door and we sit in front of mobile or computer. Atithi Devo Bhava is an important value shown by Yama. And if we once even don't follow it, a papa may come. It may not come to Yama. He is teaching us a papa may come. For that, we need to give through boons. Means pleasing things, pleasant words, pleasant actions. Whatever need to be done. Then, 3 boons chosen by Nachiketa shows the qualifications required. First and foremost, he took it for his family. Second, for the society. So, he is expanding his heart from self to selfless. And finally, the true self, which is the one existence being. And that's how the journey of a person from family due to karma yoga, then upasana yoga, then come to jnana yoga. Then the qualification of Nachiketas, we can see the concentration and mind occupied during the second boon. When Yama instructed the Agni Vidya, he could get completely, he could remember, he could reproduce. That shows the concentration which is required for a Vedantic student. So we can develop it. That's what he is showing. And Yama didn't teach directly. He tested in 3 ways. Discouragement, distraction, tempting. Even when you are pursuing spirituality, people around you many a times discourage. You can't do this in this Janma. How can you attain such great self-knowledge in this Janma? Don't get discouraged. Second, people say, why do you do this? You have many more things to enjoy in life. So they show you many other things by doing distraction. Finally, they show tempting things. Tempting things can be material or even it could be spiritual. You can see a light. You can hear to the sounds. You can have good experience. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. Even going to Vaikuntha is a tempting one. That is not the end. Have the self-knowledge. So Nachiketas passed in all the 3 things. How? Nachiketas had 4 Ds. The first D is discrimination. Discrimination between what is temporary, what is permanent. What is Nitya, what is Anitya. That he knew. And because of that, he understood Nitya Atma Jnanam is important. Anitya material pursuits is not important. Even for any student, think about what is short term, what is long term. What is short term, what is life term. So understand and have the discriminative mindset. So how you can discern the good from the bad. So you need to understand that. Secondly, once you know that what is Nitya and what is Anitya, you will gradually or you will naturally have not a passion towards Anitya. So second D is dispassion towards Anitya, dispassion towards the impermanent things. And third D is desire towards Nitya, permanent. Desire towards, I need to know this. There is no other thing that I should know. I need to know only one thing, which is the permanent, that is the Atma Vidya. So that's what we saw. And the last is more important. The last is more important is discipline. Discipline life. That's what the Vedanta says. Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti. How you discipline your senses, how you discipline your mind, how you discipline your intellect, that shows the qualifications. These are the 4 Ds which are required. Discrimination, dispassion, desire and discipline. If you have 4 Ds, then you can make a choice of what you want, whether you want the temporary material pursuit or permanent Atmajnanam. So, the whole Nachiketa story shows acquiring the qualifications of Shraddha, 4Ds, approaching a Guru. When you get a Guru, question, seek the knowledge, know for yourself what that knowledge is, and be free in this very Janma itself. Shreyaha, Preyaha, both are there in front of you. Seek the Shreyas and become free. With that, let us conclude the session with the Shanti Mantra. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.